You are 60% water. Well, maybe your body is 60% water, but most Americans are drinking something that looks like water, but it's acting more like a slow poison. You could call it dead water, and it's hiding in your tap, your expensive bottled water, even purified water. And it's dead because it has no minerals. And those are the minerals that are supposed to be in your water, and they keep your heart beating, they keep your brain firing, and your energy levels stable. This isn't about making water work with some magic fairy wand. It's about having minerals that nature originally put in the water. And this lack of minerals is why you can drink water all day and still feel drained and foggy and on edge. And if you drink more water, it doesn't help. And until you understand the difference between dead water and mineralized water, you'll spend your life slowly dehydrating your cells, and it'll age your body with every single sip. And today, I'm going to show you how to tell if your water is dead and lacking minerals, why it's destroying your hydration, and exactly what to drink instead to keep your brain sharp, keep your energy working, and your cells at full charge. Most of what you know about hydration is absolutely wrong. And I know this because I've measured more than 5,000 people's hydration with medical grade technology at my company Upgrade Labs. This is real data. And so many people are dehydrated even though they drink a lot of dead water. And people have told you your whole life, just drink more water, 8 glasses a day. Or even worse, drink a gallon of water a day on 75 hard. That is not a good plan. And that rule wasn't born in a medical lab. It was born in marketing. It's one of the biggest hydration mistakes that you can see everywhere. Your brain's about 75% water, and your blood is 80% water. Even your bones, the hardest tissue in your body, are still 30% water. Every single chemical reaction in your body takes place in water. Without enough of it, you get slow metabolism, you get a weak immune system, and your thinking just isn't very strong. If you dehydrate your cells by just 1 to 2%, studies show that your mood will drop, your memory becomes worse, and your energy tanks. If you go without water for 3 days, your organs could even start to shut down unless you're doing a certain kind of fast. And that's why water has always been the first prescription for wellness. It's why every health magazine runs the same headline at least once a year: drink more water. Nobody actually knows how Americans started to believe that we need to drink 8 glasses of water a day. But what we do know is that companies like Nestle and Pepsi and Coca-Cola made billions and probably soon even trillions of dollars from that myth. And the closest origin story we have is from 1945, when the U.S. Food and Nutrition Board recommended people consume 2.5 liters of water per day. But they also said, in small letters, that most of that water comes from food, like fruits and vegetables and soup, even coffee and tea. And somewhere along the line, the second half just vanished. And by the time it filtered through magazines and TV segments and wellness blogs, it's been boiled down to a neat, catchy command: 8 glasses a day. And catchy is all the media needed. And while the media started selling that myth, bottled water companies were drinking it up and just manipulating Americans to buy water from them instead of drinking 8 glasses from their kitchen tap. And during that time, Perrier sold sparkling water like it was luxury champagne. Nestle saw something bigger, a commodity that they could extract and package and sell at huge margins. And by the late 90s and early aughts, Nestle owned some of the biggest bottled water brands in America, like Poland Spring, Pure Life, Arrowhead, Deer Park, Ice Mountain, and Zephyr Hills. They weren't even pulling water from pristine mountain springs for every bottle. A lot of it came from municipal tap and underground sources, and they had rights to pump this for pennies per gallon. Coke and Pepsi also jumped in with Aquafina and Dasani. And all those brands didn't just want you drinking water, they wanted you drinking their water. And if people trusted tap water, bottled water wouldn't sell. So ad campaigns started hinting that tap water wasn't pure enough, that you needed more water than ever, and that pure meant healthy. And they were kind of right, because tap water is really terrible. But what they didn't mention was that pure also means devoid of minerals. That water was mineral-free, which means the water they sold to Americans didn't contain the electrolytes your body needs to actually use the water you drink. And that marketing worked. Between 1990 and 2010, bottled water sales in the US quadrupled. And today, it's the #1 packaged beverage in America. It even outsells soda. You might be thinking, okay, fine, Dave. I'll just drink tap water. But the same municipal treatment processes that make tap water safe also make it nutritionally empty and full of some toxins. Chlorination, fluoridation, and aggressive filtration, they don't just strip out contaminants, but they strip out the natural minerals that your cells depend on. Oh, and they leave birth control pill residue and antibiotic residue and all the other reasons we don't really want tap water without a really good filter. That's a different video. What's left in this bottled water and in tap water is technically safe to drink, but biologically incomplete. And it still contains contaminants like pharmaceuticals and microplastics, pesticides, all sorts of things you really don't want in your body. So we're left with bottled water that's often mineral-free by design, it's sold as pure, and tap water that is mineral-free is stripped for safety, but that's why it doesn't matter. If you're refilling from a plastic bottle or from your kitchen faucet, you're still not getting your minerals. You're drinking water that can't hydrate you at this cellular level. When you drink this dead water, instead of hydrating, you end up flushing sodium out of your body and diluting your blood's electrolyte balance. Your kidneys find this water with no minerals and say, wait, inside my cells, there's a lot of minerals. Outside my cells, there's this water. If I want to bring the water in, I have to lose my minerals. So the body says, get rid of the water. It's not useful. So you have to pee. You run to the bathroom, your pee is clear, and you're still dehydrated at the cellular level. That's how it actually works. That's why people who are constantly sipping plain dead water, even expensive bottled plain dead water, often feel bloated, foggy, even lightheaded. And it happened to me. These are symptoms of dilutional hyponatremia. And this is a dangerous condition where your sodium levels drop too low. And do not do this. But if you were to drink 2 liters of just plain bottled water on an empty stomach, watch how your brain changes. What will happen is you'll feel really, really unwell and kind of zoomy and foggy. That's because you just created this condition. You don't want to feel that way. This is why every year a few people die doing marathons because they drink dead water with no minerals and they actually die of hyponatremia. So if you want real hydration, hydration that charges your brain, keeps your energy high, you focus on electrolyte balance. Because water alone just isn't enough. Your cells need sodium to pull water inside. When I said your body was 60% water, I kind of lied. Your body is 60% salt water. And that's why if you just drink water with no minerals, no electrolytes, it just imbalances you. Your cells need potassium to keep your electrical system stable. And your cells need magnesium to power more than 300 biochemical reactions, including the very way you make energy. And without those minerals, water just goes right through you. So here's what I want you to do step by step. Number 1, filter your water. You need to get rid of chlorine, fluoride, and industrial contaminants. And you want to choose filters that keep minerals or allow you to add them back, like a reverse osmosis setup with a remineralizer. Second, start your morning with what you could call mineral water. It's really just between a quarter and a full teaspoon of high-quality sea salt or desert salt to 12 ounces of water. And that's going to give your body sodium and trace minerals right when your body needs them most. Most people feel a rush of energy within 15 minutes of drinking that. You can add a squeeze of lemon or a few drops of trace mineral concentrate to improve absorption and balance the pH. And if you want an easy shortcut, you can invest in a full spectrum electrolyte powder, no sugar, no artificial colors, just pure minerals. You could also drink Danger Coffee, which is something I invented, which has over 50 trace minerals and electrolytes that power your cells. So if you drink coffee in the morning, make sure you have electrolytes with it one way or another. Because hydration without minerals is like trying to charge your phone with a cable that isn't plugged into the wall. You're drinking water, but it's not going into your cells. But even if you fix the minerals in your water, there's another mistake that almost everyone makes. Most people think hydration is about how much water you drink in a day. So we end up gulping down huge amounts during meals or right before bed. But here's the problem. If you drink a lot of water with a meal, it's going to contribute to acid reflux and make you feel bloated. And that's because your body needs concentrated stomach acid. And if you dilute it with a lot of water at a meal, you can't digest your food very well. And then there's bedtime hydration. If you chug a big glass of water before you go to sleep, you're probably going to wake up in the middle of the night to pee, which means you don't get good quality deep sleep, so your brain isn't going to be as sharp the next day. So you want to start hydrating early. Always use salt or electrolytes or minerals, and then you don't have to chase hydration all day long. You can stay ahead of it. That's why so many people who drink enough water still are feeling sluggish and foggy or get afternoon crashes. And when I measure their cell hydration using medical tech, they say, but I drink 8 glasses or 12 glasses a day. Like, yeah, your cells are still dehydrated. There's a reason for that. And that's where you need to time your hydration to support your body's natural rhythms and demands. And here's how you do it. The best hydration window is when you first wake up. So you can drink 8, 12, even 24 ounces of water if you want to, as long as there are electrolytes. And you do it within 15 minutes of getting up. That's going to replenish what you lost through breathing and sweating overnight. Then you slowly hydrate throughout the day. Keep a glass near you when you're working. Again, add some lemon, add a pinch of sea salt. It's going to give you a very big difference in your energy compared to what you're used to. And just don't chug water for the hell of it. You don't need an app to track to make sure you're drinking enough water. Drinking enough water is caused by something called thirst. And when you use electrolytes, you have less thirst, so you can be more intentional. And as a bonus tip, have a cup or two of Danger coffee before 2 p.m. or even decaf Danger coffee if it's after 2, because you're getting minerals in that you won't find even in electrolytes. Your body will thank you for the minerals. Even if you're drinking mineral-rich water and you time it correctly, most people still wait until they feel really thirsty before drinking. And that can be a mistake. Thirst is a late-stage dehydration signal, but a very useful one. It's your body saying we're already low. By the time you're feeling that thirst, your blood volume has already dropped a little bit, which means your cells have lost water and your brain function has gone down a little bit because you have less blood to put into the brain. Remember, even mild dehydration, like 1% of your body weight, can impair your memory, your reaction time, and your mood. Which means if you wait until you have dry mouth and deep, hungry, dying of thirst kind of feelings, your brain's already cooked. So here's what you don't realize. Even things like screen time and Zoom calls and mental work will drain your hydration. And the more you talk, the more it dehydrates you. You can lose water just by thinking hard and by breathing faster. And stress makes your water loss worse because cortisol shifts how your kidneys regulate fluids, which causes you to hold on to sodium and still lose water. So if you wait for thirst, you're always going to be behind. And that means you're compromising your energy, your focus, and even how emotionally stable you feel long before you realize it. And that's why you want to build hydration habits that keep you ahead of thirst so your brain and body are always fully charged. It's a lot easier when you have minerals in your water because the water works better, so you don't have to do it as often. And you start with proactive micro habits. You can have a glass of water with electrolytes or salt when you wake up. If you're working on a screen, you can set a timer for every 90 minutes to sip 5 ounces or so of mineral water, but really you shouldn't need a timer. Have it there, drink it occasionally. Your body will tell you when to do it. You can preload hydration before you know you're going to lose fluids. For example, if you're going to work out, drink some water with electrolytes before the workout, or before getting in the sauna, before you go outside when it's really hot, and most especially before drinking alcohol, which you know is going to dehydrate you. And after any workout or time in the sauna or just sweating, replace the water you lost immediately. And you can use a simple visual cue. It's your urine color. If your urine is the color of kind of a pale lemonade, you're hydrated. If it's clear as water or very, very light yellow, you are overdoing water without electrolytes. That is not a sign of health. It's not a sign of detox. It's a sign of drinking lots of water without electrolytes. It's not good for you. But if your urine's the color of apple juice, you're dehydrated. So with these micro habits, your hydration becomes automatic and you don't have to play catch up again because you know what thirst feels like, you know what extreme thirst feels like, and you know what color your pee is. It's not that hard. That one change alone can improve energy, mood, and clarity more than most supplements that you could be spending hundreds of dollars on. So before you reach for the nootropics, which I'm a huge fan of, make sure that you tried putting some salt in your water. You can do it. I use 2 different types of electrolytes in my life. One of them is from Element. drinklmnt.com/Dave, and they'll give you a discount. They taste really good. And the other one, my primary form, is in Danger Coffee, and I did invent Danger Coffee. dangercoffee.com.